Gary Cohn is with me, President Trump's former chief economic advisor, of course, senior executive at Goldman Sachs. Gary, good to see you, sir. You're looking well, and that's good news.
Thank you, Richard. Great to be with you.
Thank you. Okay, so we know it's a false choice. We've been told it often enough, but it seems at the moment that not enough is being done to ensure safely reopening of the US. So I'm left with the conclusion that many politicians and many states are willing to accept higher numbers of cases and levels of death to accomplish this.
Richard, this is a very difficult decision. You know, it's not just an economic versus COVID decision. This is almost a healthcare versus economic decision. You know, telling people to stay home 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and only leave your house to go out and purchase groceries or other necessities has other healthcare implications. There are a lot of things that people need in the general economy, whether it be other healthcare, other medical needs that are not getting taken care of. So we are seeing huge instances now of other diseases and other bad healthcare outcomes starting to spring up in the economy, in the society. So this is not a simple decision. You know, our governors, our mayors, our elected officials, they're in a very difficult position. They are trying to thread this needle very delicately to allow people out to resume some normalcy where they can go get their preventive health care. They can go get the medical treatment they need that's non-COVID related. And yes, that may include returning to some type of normal economic activity as well.
So listen to what President Trump said and the way in which that debate has been put forward, at least from the top. Have a listen.
I think we had 144 days of record stock markets. And then one day they said, we have to close our country. Well, now it's time to open it up. And you know what? The people of our country are warriors, and I'm looking at it. I'm not saying anything is perfect. And yes, will some people be affected? Yes. Will some people be affected badly? Yes. But we have to get our country open, and we have to get it open soon.
So, Gary, when you look at those sort of statements, and you see the actions that are being taken, and you've been a great proponent of tracing and testing, and that's simply not in place yet, which does then suggest that on this complex question, most states have decided it's more important at the moment to change the balance of risk.
Well, we did not start with a riskless environment. And I like to remind people that. You know, if you go back pre-crisis, we had risks to our economy, risk to our healthcare, risk to our culture every day. When we got up and left our house, we had a risk. So we need to balance what risks are acceptable to return to. We're never going to get to a risk-free, riskless environment to re-enter. Right. And balancing those risks are important. And yes, you're right. I have been an advocate of testing. And I think the ability to test is very important. So if we see an early outbreak in an area, we can shut down that area and can find the disease to more isolated areas and not have to shut down the entire country. I think that's very important. But we are now in a position where we're evaluating different risks. We're saying, look, risk versus reward. If we allow economies to open, and when we need to open them slowly, we cannot open them with a big bang. We've got to allow certain businesses, smaller footprints, smaller stores, which naturally have less clientele in them, and even stop a lot of people from coming in. Maybe we say, look, this store can only have 5 people in at a time, and people have gotten accustomed to waiting outside. This store can have 10 people in because it's a bigger store. There are ways to manage this in a very proactive fashion, but allow some sense of normalcy to come back.
Gary, you're with us after the break when we can talk about the longer-term economic damage, if such there be. Thank you for being with us. We'll be with you again after the short break.